Eight-layer karanji is also known as varki karanji, and it's an Indian style of puff pastry. Once you've made this kind of karanji, it becomes almost impossible to eat any other kind because this is super flaky, delicate, buttery, and delicious. Stuffed with coconut and dried fruits, it's absolutely irresistible. First, start off by making the filling. For this, you will need some rava, some khaskhas or white poppy seeds, which you will toast in a dry skillet until it's toasty brown and aromatic. To this, you will add finely chopped nuts such as almonds, cashews. You can also add pistachios, though that's not traditional. Toast this until it smells really aromatic. Now, take it off the fire and put it into a plate and reserve it. Add some ghee and add some coconut, preferably desiccated, unsweetened coconut. Cook this over a medium to high flame until it's toasty, aromatic, and just slightly brown. Add some nutmeg powder or some elaichi powder to this, cardamom powder. Once it's reached the right consistency, switch off the flame, add some powdered sugar. Please don't use conventional sugar or icing sugar. Powder your granulated sugar and then add this to the mixture. Stir it well and reserve it. Now to make the dough, combine some maida with a little bit of salt and some warm ghee. You want to make a dough that is firm and does not require a lot of atta afterwards to dust the surface to roll out your dough. This is because that will interfere with the flakiness of the pastry. Add 2 tablespoons of whole milk, plain whole milk to this. Then add water as required to form a shiny, smooth, and slightly firm dough. Your dough should not be sticky or wet. Once that's done, apply a little bit of oil to the surface to keep it moist. Cover it and let it rest for about half an hour. Do not refrigerate your dough and do not rest it for more than an hour or so. This is a kind of laminated dough. We're going to make 8 different chapatis, all more or less the same size, and we're going to layer them one on top of the other. You're going to combine some ghee and some maida and make a paste, and then slightly rub it over every layer. Put the next chapati or roti over it. Again, apply what we call the sattu to this. What you're basically creating is multiple layers. Now tightly roll these layers together to form a single roll. You want to make sure there are no gaps because you don't want air to fill into pockets. Now slice both the ends off and no more than 1 inch in thickness. Slice pieces of this roll. You will see all the layers in the center. These are the layers that will give you the flakiness when you make the karanji. This karanji is deep fried, so it's going to puff up beautifully. You want to roll these out and fry them immediately. You don't want them to rest or freeze them or refrigerate them. Once you've rolled out your first 4.5 inch circle, it should be an even flat surface on which you roll it out. Put in about 3 or 4 tablespoons, depends on how big you make your karanjis. Fold it over and then pleat it. If you're unable to pleat it, just use a fork to ensure that the ends are firmly closed. Now, once you've done at least 4 or 5 of these, they are ready to fry. You will need at least 3 or 4 inches of oil and a large karai. Don't overcrowd these karanji when you're frying them. It's very important that they have enough space to move and they don't overcrowd because it gets soggy. Heat your oil on a high flame, but then before adding the karanjis, lower them to medium. Drain your hot karanjis into a sieve over paper towels. This allows them to both air and allows the oil to drain out. Cool the karanjis and put them into an airtight box and keep them refrigerated. I prefer not to leave them outside. Serve them at room temperature. If you can serve them straight out of the frying pan, they're even better. But of course, it's not always possible to do that. These are often made in advance and then served during the main meal. You can see all the layers that are formed. The flakiness and the layers is visible on the outside, and you can sort of see them when you break it open as well. Enjoy!